Hey YouTube, it's the Tempest. It's late. I've been working all night on this deck profile update for you. Um, so yeah, I may or may not be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively for the rest of the format, but my friend and I are gonna be going up to my locals for a couple weekends this summer, so I want to have a deck ready, just in case. So I decided to update my X-Saber deck with everything new, that's been out so far. Um, and I just think it's really good. This is about as good as you can make the deck, I think. If you're gonna have it have the best chance of the format. So I'm just gonna go over it. Not much to it. Um, but yeah, there's a little pretty personal choices. So, but yeah. Anyway, this is just my deck, and you probably will enjoy it. It's really easy to make. All right, so starting with monsters, we got 3 Bogart Knight. Pretty much a staple on X-Sabers these days. You can search it out with Tenki now, so you want to max it if you can. Helps you make Faltro plays easily. 3 Full Helm Knight. Change from my last build, I dropped Airbalm. It's not as good this format. Now that you have Elemental Dragon out, this guy's skills are going to be more important. You can use him to negate attacks and to stop OTKs. You can also use him to kill Phantom Beast tokens and get stuff back from the graveyard, which is always nice. Next up, 2 Emmer's Blade. Drop him down to 2. If you try and drop him against dragons, all you're going to do is get him big-eyed. Yeah, this is just so much harder to get him destroyed by battle these days. So, I'm keeping him at 2. I might even drop him down to 1, but if you drop him down to 1, there's not really a point in playing him at all. So I'd say play him at 2 or don't play him at all. But he's just a good generic level 3 X-Saber, so I'm still keeping him in for now, and I might end up taking him out as the format goes on, but he's still pretty good. Next we got the 3 Dark Souls. It's a standard that you need it in every deck. It's the Searcher, so yeah. Not much to say about him, just Dark Soul. Next we got 3 Faltro. Maxing Faltro for this build because you need him. Rank 6s are important in this build. There's a whole bunch of good ones out there. Every X-Saber extra deck usually runs 1, if not 2, of the best rank 6s. Normally it's Bouncer and Ptolemy. Some decks are running what's it called? Gauntlet Shooter as well. So yeah, Faltro's good for rank 6 plays, and also just to help you get stuff out faster from the graveyard. Next we got 2 Paschal. I don't usually like Paschal, but you absolutely have to have him in this format, in this deck. You might even want to max him at 3. I want to run 2 of them because I don't have space for 2, but you probably want to max him if you can. The reason he's in here is to make level 8 synchros, which are the most important synchros in this deck are level 8s. You got your Scrap Dragon to help destroy cards, you got your Colossal Fighter to help run over stuff and as a target for Eradicator, and you got your Crimson Blader to stop your opponent from synchro summoning and from doing shit if they're playing dragons or prophecy. So very important card. Plus he's a wall, can't be destroyed by battle, so against dragons they have to big eye him in order to get their plays to go through, otherwise they stop because they can't OTK you. The next card is 2 Redox. I don't have these yet, I'll probably get these over the weekend. Redox is the Elemental Dragon of Earth. What he does is you can discard 2. You can discard him and another Earth monster to the graveyard to special summon 1 Earth monster from your graveyard. If he's banished by a card effect, you can add an Earth monster or a Dragon type monster from your deck to your hand, and you can special summon him from your hand or graveyard by banishing 2 Earths or 2 Dragons or an Earth and a Dragon. So I only have space for 2, but he's just a really nice wall. He's 1300, or 1300. He's 3000 defense. He's always good, and he helps you get stuff out from your graveyard, so it makes nice synchro plays. Yeah, just good to have. And last we got 2 Veiler. Not sure how I like Veiler's form, but everybody seems to be maining it, so I'm sure with more testing they'll see it's pretty good. It's also level 1 tuner, so if I can get Redox out, I can use Veiler with Redox for the late synchro. Really nice. And then last we got 2 Maxi. Really standard. It's really good against Evil Swarm and dragons and Mermail, but you know, I'm not so worried about Mermail so much as I am with Evil Swarm. See, this deck, so far I've played against Mermail and dragons with this deck. Have no problems with either. I mean, I have problems with dragons, sure, but everybody has problems with dragons. If you can't OTK them, and they can come back next turn because all their effects like go off. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, this deck's worst matchup is obviously Evil Swarm, because when Opion's on the field, you can't summon level 5 or higher monsters, so you can't synchro with this deck. So you need the Maxi to stop them from making Opion. And yeah, so I don't know what to say really. Maxi you need to have. I wouldn't play at 3 because normally if you don't draw into this, it becomes Redox fodder. So anyway, yeah. That's the monster lineup. It's 21 monsters. It's kind of monster heavy for an X-Saber deck, but I got so many hand traps. And I'm playing Redox, so no big deal. For spells, we got 2 tanky. Don't have any Beast Warriors, no Fire Fist in here, so you don't really need to play more than 2. That's what I think anyway. 2 Duality. Not sure how I feel about this card, but it is a nice +1 when you need it. Helps you thin your deck, draw into things that you need. The only problem is if you use it, you can't special summon, and if you come up against a deck that you need to make big monsters or summon a lot of monsters in one turn, this card can be kind of dead. So I usually end up siding out game 2 for the stuff I have in my side deck, which is actually really good. And tanky, I usually set out 1 or both of them in game 2. Usually only 1, because yeah, why not? 1 Lance and 1 Book of Moon. Given the choice, I wouldn't play the second Lance anymore. Firefists are not a problem for me. Mermails I don't have any problems with. Just the Book of Moon is so good because it can flip a dragon down and stop it from seizing. Lance, same thing. You can stop your opponent from doing things like Evil Swarm related things. So just 1 of each. I think it's really all I need right now. I've been trying to get a second Lance for a long time, but now before my moved on, I don't really need it. So yeah. And then last we got Heavy and Reborn. These are staples. I'm not playing Dark Hole. Dark Hole sided. Looking at a lot of the format now, kind of deciding that this deck has plenty of monster removal if it needs to, and it's trap lineup, so you don't really need Dark Hole. Heavy is definitely a main card, but I have no MSTs, so yeah. And between this and Hyunle, I think I have quite a bit of removal covered, so yeah. But of course, MSTs are sided for the Evil Swarm matchup, which is the worst matchup for this deck. So, alright. It's only 8 spells, unfortunately. I lied before when I said it was 21 monsters. It's actually 22 monsters. So, yeah, sorry about that. Alright, next we got traps. 2 E-Call. Don't really need 3. I suppose you could play 3 if you wanted to, but I'm only playing 2 because I just have space for 2, and that's when I want to play, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes it becomes dead. Drawing into multiples of it isn't really a good thing. So I think 2 is just the right number. Drawing into 3, sometimes you can draw into too many and then you don't open enough monsters, or you don't open any of your offensive traps. So I think 2 equals perfect. 1 Reinforced Truth. This card I was iffy about. I was at 40 cards and I thought, you know what, I really want to put this card in and make it 41 cards because it's 41 cards. But Reinforced Truth is just so good in this deck. When you need to stop a play, this gets you the partial you need to stop any plays. It gets you the extra level 2 tuning you need, and the deck that in a format where this deck relies on its level 8 synchros, you want to get your partial as soon as you can. Just if you have a X-Saber in your hand and you have a False Roll in hand, just that Reinforced Truth play in your opponent's turn to grab the partial, summon another X-Saber, summon the False Roll to revive, and then make Crimson Blader. I just feel like this card is really necessary in this deck. This gets you the partial so much faster, so I'm going to try it at 1. If I don't like it, I'll take it out. But I've hated this card. I've liked it. I've hated it. I've liked it. I've hated it. I've waffled between playing it and partial, but this format where you need the rank level 8 synchros, this card is definitely good. 2 Mirror Force. Wasn't sure about this card, but took out Dark Hole. Decided to keep this in because I don't have any deep prisons, so it's definitely good against the Dragon matchup. Not so good against Evil Swarm. I could probably have this out for one of my other spell traps I got in here. Yeah, this is an easy side choice. 2 Torrential. Not siding this is always me. Good against dragons, good against lots of other decks. Just a good card in general. A little bottomless. Not sure how I feel about this card yet. I played it against dragons, didn't really help me too much, so it might be a side up card. Against other decks, it's still good. Stops the Ophion play as long as your opponent can't like infestation, whatever. Yeah. And then last we got Judgment and Warning. These cards are too good. You should always run them if you can. So yeah, 22 monsters, 8 spells, and 11 traps, I think. Yes. yeah. And this deck has really stayed solid. I've played it against Mermail and Dragon so far, and I liked it a lot. Those are the main decks. Evil Swarm is still giving me problems, but I think it's no big deal. I can probably beat him out. Alright, so next we have our extra deck. This extra deck is the main part of what makes X-Saber so good, is because everything in the extra deck can counter something. And they have so much extra space that it doesn't even matter. So the Nat Beast is obvious. You get this card out and you can go ham on Prophecy. You can like go turn 1 or turn 2 Nat Beast before they can drop Judgment. They probably will end up scooping to you. Either that or you'll mill your entire deck before they can make any plays. So because they need Judgment and Tower to go off to get their pluses, and you have Nat Beast and you just mill them again. Hyper Librarian, just because you don't have Catastor, he's good for some synchro OTK plays to get your draw cards and get pluses. Unfortunately, he's only 24. If he was 25, shit would be broken, but still, he'd be an Eradicator target, so he'd be definitely in here. I'm not sure how I feel about him. Not many decks synchro, except for Dragons for Crimson later, so I guess he's kind of okay, but I'd rather have Catastor, to be honest. Next we got Archeon, not so much a problem card anymore, because, I don't know, just not many traps. I guess there's a lot of decks that do have traps, but, you know, he's not that big a deal. I just have him because he's a good card. 1 Hyunlei, a lot of decks are playing 2 Hyunlei. I noticed when I was testing the only plays I had when I had 2 level 3s on the field were make Barkion, make Hyunlei, or make 10 Tempo, which is the only rank 3 that I run. On DN in this deck. In real life I have something else, but yeah. So I would only want to run 1 Hyunlei. She's not really needed 2. The level 6 synchros are important, so you can make rank 8 or rank 6 succeeds plays, but only 1 of her I think is all you need, because the only decks in the format that have heavy back row are Evil Swarm, and I guess maybe Prophecy, so I feel like you only need 1 of them. Gaia Knight for now. This is going to come up something later, probably Catastor, or maybe rank 6. I'm planning on throwing in here, not sure yet. Fall Troll, or not Fall Troll, Souza. Really important, it's level 7. Try not to make him against dragons if you can help it, because if they big eye him, he just becomes level 7, they can use to make Drago Sack. So. But, you know, the only reason he's in here is because most of the tunes in this deck are level 3s, so I have to drop Ogre Knight, drop level 3, make Souza, that's all you have to do. Black Rose, just because you can make him, just good, you can clear the whole board. I don't know, it's a pretty stable card. Not a lot of X-Saber decks are running it, but I think I'm running it just because I like it. Scrap, really good card. So broken in Dragons. I hate this card so much in Dragons because they can target the Drago Sack if they have a token on the board, and then they just don't minus themselves and you lose a card. It's just so broken. Crimson Blader, this is a staple in every extra deck now. If you can get this out and kill a dragon or something with it, it slows them down a lot. Also, this is only here as a beater, and also because it's dark, so I can use it for Eradicator, which I have sided. Yeah. And next we got 1 Gotham. I'm thinking about pulling out my other one and dropping bundles up to 2. This card is a really double-edged sword. It's the only way I have to run over Gaios besides Scrap Dragon or Colossal Fighter. The problem is Gaios has this thing where, like, okay, it's like a paradox. Like, if he has 2 materials on him, then you're right, fuck, you can't get rid of them in this deck. Just Gaios screwed his deck over, so. If you can stop Mermail from making Gaios, you're good. You're golden. But if Gaios gets on the field, you're like screwed. But you can't do anything. Nothing can run over him because level 5 or higher monsters can't attack. And I don't have Acid Golem in here, so I can't run over him with that. And then, so the only other thing you have is 10 Tempo. So with 10 Tempo, you can detach one of his things, but then he can just change his effect to negate it. So if he still has material left, you're screwed there. So your only really option is to go, you know, Colossal Fighter, and then 10 Tempo and detach 1 and stuff, and that's really situational. So the other thing I might do is I might throw back an Acid Golem in here, but it's just, I don't know. It's really situational, and Gaios does screw his deck over quite a bit, but it's, you know, anyway. Mistworm, yeah, Mistworm's okay. I like it against the dragons, I guess, and against some other decks, but it's just, you know, kind of an explosive card to make, and we can make it. It's not strong, but its effect can usually be detrimental to the opponent. 10 tempo. Like I said before, this deck is killed by Gauss and Ophion, so he's the staple now for this deck. And then my last two cards are Zen Mains and Maestro. I'm not sure which one I'm going to keep in. I kind of want to put in Black Ship or Porn, but I do like Maestro a lot too. And then for Zen Mains, like I just said, I could probably fit in Acid Golem just for that random play, but I like him for the stall power if I need it. Yeah. So the one rank 6 I'm planning on putting in here is Ptolemy M7 if I can get one. If not, let's get like a $5 bouncer and throw it in here. It's pretty good. Yeah. But Ptolemy is really good in this deck. What Ptolemy does is he takes 2 level 6s to make, and you can detach one to add a monster from your graveyard to your hand. So that's pretty nice. I guess I'll show you the side deck. I don't think there's anything else I need to say. Dark Hole, because Dark Hole is Dark Hole. I guess against Evil Swarm and Dragons you can drop it out. I'm probably gonna take out Mirror Forces against them because they have the defensive spell and traps and stuff, the lances and whatnot, so definitely sided. MST for Evil Swarm, Rabbit, what have you, just because. To Compulse, Compulse the Big Eye, Compulse the Dragosax, because Dragosax can't be destroyed, but you can still Compulse them and other stuff. Kind of situational, but it's just good to have, not really anything better. To Mind Crush, not as good as some other things I have in here, but yeah, I don't know. It's Mind Crush, it's good against every top deck, this one though, so why not. To Eradicator, I considered siding 3, but this card is really only reliant on me drawing enough cards to make Colossal Fighter and then dropping it, so I have to get really lucky, or I have to like grind really hard and get that Reinforced Truth play to go off. So Eradicator is important, but I don't know if I would run 3. But you can run 3 if you want. If you feel like you're a confident player, then go ahead by all means play it. 2 Fiendish Chains. Just because it's Fiendish Chain, it's pretty good against some random rogue decks out there that you make them up against. Then my last 3 cards are 1 Goes and Match and 2 Imperial Iron Wall. They basically do the same thing. They slow down the dragon plays. With this card, your opponent's dragoning, summoning things are heavily limited. And then with these 2, your opponent can't banish cards, or neither player can banish cards. So this is good against every top deck except Mermail. Prophecy can't banish for High Priestess, they can't banish for Master, they can't banish and use Eternity. Evil Swarm can't use Rabbit, they can't use Mandragora, they can't use Thunderbird, and of course Dragons can't do anything, so this card's really good. I would main these, but I don't have space, I just want to main other things instead, so I could conceivably take out the Mirror Forces for 2 of these in main, but you know, there's still an abundance of rogue decks out there, so I'm just going to do the Tech 1 Goes and Match. I would try and get a 3rd Imperial Iron Wall if I could, because these are just so good against every top deck. But I think the 2 of these in one still works. So Goes and Match is still a good side card in X-Sabers. So yeah, that's my side deck. That's my whole deck. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope this video didn't run too long. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to subscribe if you liked the video, and comment with any questions and suggestions.